My girlfriend's father offered me $50,000 to break up with my girlfriend. What he didn't know was that she heard everything. I, 19M, still can't believe what happened yesterday. My hands are shaking as I type this, but I need to get it off my chest. This might be long, but I need to share every detail to process what happened. I've been dating my girlfriend for 2 years now. We met during junior year when we were paired for a chemistry project. Neither of us was looking for a relationship. She was focused on maintaining her perfect GPA, and I was busy with baseball and college applications. But something just clicked. Despite everyone saying teenage relationships don't last, we've proven them wrong. We've supported each other through college applications, family issues, and all the typical high school drama. The thing about our relationship is that it's always been based on mutual respect and support. She comes to all my games, even in freezing weather, and I've spent countless nights helping her practice for debate tournaments. We both got accepted to different colleges about 3 hours apart. She's heading to an Ivy League for pre-med, and I got a partial baseball scholarship to a state school. While it's not ideal, we're committed to making it work. Her family has always been complicated. They're wealthy, the kind of wealthy where vacation means flying private to their summer house in Europe. My family is solidly middle class. Her mom teaches at a private school, and her father runs a successful investment firm. They've never been outright rude about our different backgrounds, but there's always been this underlying tension, especially from her father. Yesterday, I received a text from her father asking me to meet him at his office. This wasn't entirely unusual. He's occasionally invited me for chats about my future plans or to give me unsolicited career advice. I assumed he wanted to discuss our college plans or maybe even offer some guidance about managing a long-distance relationship. I drove to his office building downtown, one of those gleaming glass towers that make you feel small just looking at them. The security guard knew to expect me and directed me to the elevator. Her father's firm occupied the top 3 floors, and his corner office had a view that made the city look like a toy model. The office was exactly what you'd expect: leather chairs that probably cost more than my car, expensive art that looked like random splashes but probably had deep meaning, and that subtle smell of success that makes you conscious of your department store clothes. He gestured for me to sit down, and what came next felt like a scene from a bad movie. "I'll make this simple," he said, pulling out a checkbook. His Mont Blanc pen probably cost more than my entire wardrobe. "You're both young, and long-distance relationships rarely work. I'm offering you $50,000 to end things with her before college starts." I sat there, stunned. The amount was life-changing for a 19-year-old. It could cover most of my college expenses, buy a reliable car, maybe even start a small investment portfolio like he'd always lectured me about. But all I could think about was the absolute insult this represented, to me, to our relationship, and most importantly, to her. What he didn't know, what he couldn't have known, was that his daughter was sitting right outside his office. We'd driven there together because she needed to pick up some documents for college from him afterward. She'd stayed in the reception area, scrolling through her phone, waiting for our meeting to end. It was pure coincidence, but looking back, it feels like fate. I looked at the check he was holding out. My mind raced through all the possibilities, the practical part of my brain trying to justify even considering it, while my heart screamed in protest. "Sir," I said, keeping my voice steady, "I appreciate the offer, but I can't accept it. Your daughter isn't something that can be bought or sold." He leaned back in his chair, looking simultaneously impressed and annoyed. "Everyone has a price," he said, as if explaining something obvious to a child. "I'm offering you a chance to do the smart thing. Long-distance relationships in college? They're a fantasy. You'll both end up hurt, distracted from your studies, missing opportunities. I'm offering you a chance to end it cleanly, with a nice cushion for your future." That's when we both heard a noise from outside. The door was slightly ajar, and she had heard everything. She burst in, tears streaming down her face. But they weren't tears of sadness. She was furious. I'd seen her angry before, but this was different. This was years of controlled emotions finally breaking free. What followed was the most intense family argument I've ever witnessed. 2 years of pent-up frustration came pouring out. She called him out for always trying to control her life, for never believing in her ability to make her own choices. The perfect daughter facade cracked, revealing all the pain and resentment underneath. "You've never trusted me," she shouted. "Every decision I've made, you've questioned. Every achievement, you've somehow twisted into fitting your narrative. Do you know how hard it is to be your daughter? To feel like nothing I do is ever good enough unless it fits your perfect plan." He tried to defend himself, saying he was just looking out for her future, that he didn't want her to be distracted in college. He mentioned his own college experience, how he'd seen countless relationships fall apart, how he was trying to spare her that pain. "Distracted?" she shot back. "I maintained a 4.0 GPA while dating him. I got into an Ivy League while dating him. He's been nothing but supportive of my goals. The only distraction here is you trying to micromanage my life. I wanted to sink into the floor. This was a family matter, and I felt like an intruder. But every time I tried to leave, they both asked me to stay. Her father kept insisting he was doing this for her own good. But with each word, he was only making things worse. The argument shifted from our relationship to years of built-up issues. She brought up how he'd tried to force her into economics instead of pre-med, how he'd attempted to choose her extracurriculars in high school, how he'd even tried to influence which friends she kept. It was like watching years of careful control finally shatter. Finally, she grabbed my hand and said we were leaving. As we walked out, her father called after us, but she didn't look back. In the elevator, she maintained her composure, but as soon as we reached my car, she broke down completely. Not because of me. She said she never doubted I would refuse the money, but because her father had so little faith in her judgment. That was yesterday. Today, her father has been calling and texting both of us nonstop, trying to explain himself. Her mother got involved too, saying he meant well, but went about it completely wrong. My girlfriend has blocked him for now, saying she needs time to process everything. The thing is, I understand her father's concerns about long-distance relationships. They're hard, and many don't survive. Statistics aren't in our favor. But trying to buy me off? That crossed a line that can't be uncrossed easily. It wasn't just about the money. It was about respect, trust, and his fundamental belief that his daughter's feelings could be dismissed so easily. My girlfriend is staying with her best friend for a few days to clear her head. We've talked about it extensively, and we're more committed than ever to making this work. Not to spite her father, but because what happened made us realize how much we truly care about each other. We spent hours last night making plans for regular video calls, scheduling visits, and figuring out how to balance our relationship with our studies. I feel guilty, like I somehow caused this rift between them. But my girlfriend insists this was a long time coming. She says her father has always tried to control every aspect of her life, and this was just the last straw. She's told me stories I'd never heard before, about how he'd vetted every birthday party invitation she received as a child, how he'd insisted on meeting every friend's parents before allowing playdates, how he'd even tried to influence which instruments she played in middle school. College starts in 2 months. We had planned to enjoy our last summer together, but now everything feels complicated. Her father's actions have cast a shadow over what should have been a happy time. We had plans for a beach trip with friends, but now she's worried about running into family friends who might report back to her father. The money keeps playing on my mind, not because I regret refusing it, but because of what it represents. $50,000. That's what he thought our relationship was worth. That's what he thought his daughter's happiness was worth. It's not just about the money. It's about the mindset that everything and everyone has a price. My own parents are shocked but supportive. My dad pulled me aside this morning and told me he was proud of how I handled it. My mom's worried about how this will affect my girlfriend's relationship with her family, especially with college coming up. They've offered our house as a safe space if she needs it. I guess I'm writing this because I need perspective. Did I handle this right? Should I have left the room during their argument? And how do we move forward from here? Her father is still a part of her life, whether we like it or not. Eventually, they'll need to talk things through, but right now, the wound is too fresh. The hardest part is seeing how much this has hurt my girlfriend. She's always been close with her mom, and now she feels torn. Her mother keeps calling, crying, asking her to come home and talk things through. Her younger sister is confused and upset, sending messages asking when she's coming back. It's affecting the whole family dynamic. Edit. Thank you all for the supportive comments. To address some common questions. Yes, we're both legally adults. The money was tempting, I won't lie, but it was never really a consideration. And no, I haven't shared this with my extended family yet. I'm not sure how they'd react to the whole situation. Edit 2. My girlfriend read this post and wanted me to add that she's proud of how I handled it. She also says that while she's angry with her father, she hopes they can eventually work things out, but only if he accepts that she's capable of making her own decisions. She's considering therapy to work through some of these family issues. Edit 3. For those asking about the money. Yes, $50,000 is a lot, especially for a college student. But it wasn't just about the money. It was about respect, trust, and allowing two adults to make their own choices. Some things really can't be bought. Update. Wow, this blew up overnight. I can't respond to everyone, but I appreciate all the advice. Some people suggested this might be fake because it sounds too dramatic. I wish it was. Sometimes reality is stranger than fiction. We're taking things day by day, focusing on supporting each other and preparing for college. Her father sent a formal apology email this morning, but she's not ready to respond yet. We'll see how things develop.